marks on anything? What do you think? Oh. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? It's okay.
Carter has a pure syndrome.
Come on.
On her 5th chromosome, the pure alpha protein is deleted.
We got some chocolate pancakes. Is that okay?
It's a significant developmental delay.
All right, where did those go? Here, try it. It's like a cookie.
Is it cookie?
Yeah. How about that? Who's sleeping in the bed?
Big Play and Mama.
Do we want to wake them up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see Dad. Let's go see Dad. There's so many different sides of Carter that I see. She's the most complicated, complex person that I've ever met, and doctors are baffled by her. Carter just confused everyone. We saw every specialist you could think of, a gastrologist, a neurologist, a geneticist, and the list goes on and on.
It was a major relief to have the diagnosis. She was the 40th case in the world at the time when she got that diagnosis. I think it's over 120 known cases now around the world. All nonverbal, low muscle tone, struggled with balance and walking.
All right, we're gonna leave in 5 minutes. We gotta clean up all our toys. Set, go.
Go!
Clean up all those toys.
As far as challenging our faith, it didn't rock my faith in a way of like questioning whether God is real or why God would allow this to happen or why us. He chose us to steward Carter's life, and I kind of wear that as a badge of honor.
Some days are harder than others. Those moments where she just starts screaming are my most challenging because I am so overwhelmed. And it doesn't really get easier. You just gotta keep moving and keep trying to make it work.
All right, we're here, bud. What do you think? Just show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want therapy.
You love therapy?
Yeah.
Let's get shoes and socky booties on first.
She has perseverance like nothing I've ever known. She does not give up. Go, Carter, go. So given the time, she can do it all by herself. You do it. I can't help. I know. There we go.
There's just this little light in Carter, and she's just looking deep into your soul, kind of making you focus on what's important in life. And I love that about her because she reminds me what's important every day, and I need that reminder. I would like nothing more than to just hear her little sweet voice and to hear her say, Mom. It is definitely one of my biggest dreams in life.
My parents, they've been doing this for 30 plus years. They're every day, like, completely just into it. When they're here, like, you can see like sparkle in their eye. We do pharmaceutical research. We specialize in tissue cultivation. We also do stem cell cultivation. God gave this unique technology to my dad, 30 plus years ago. And we have access to something that's never seen before in the world. And we know that it comes from God. Early in 2017, I was just hanging out with Will in the back of the church, and then I was like, what condition does Carter exactly have? And it's something that we've never heard of before. My dad talked to Will some more, and Will said that, if I had one wish, is just to hear Carter speak at some point. And then, so that's what really motivated my dad. He's like, you know what? I think I can help. So we're looking at Carter's brother, Gray's stem cell. So we actually went down to the hospital when Gray was born, and we collected the cord blood cells. I don't believe anybody else have actually found these type of cells before. The odds of, just finding cells like this is unheard of. I can't really put a definitive number on it, but I would say it's in the billions, 1 in a billion.
to find this cell in the screen is miracle.
The ones that are all showing those 3 colors, those are the types of cells that we're looking at. We believe that those are successfully differentiated into neural stem cells. And then from there, we can produce those proteins from these cells. Then we can actually help Carter to develop normally by providing whatever she's missing. You think that you will hear Carter speak, right?
100%. I'm convinced. Not by my power. God.
We are actually going to have a full-blown clinical trial that's regulated by the US FDA to do these things. Just come up to this point, we've burned through several millions of dollars, and we're expecting to burn tens of millions of dollars just to get to the clinical phase. For-profit businesses cannot take on projects like that. But once again, we feel that God has given my father this technology and given us these resources to do what we need to do exactly for purposes like this. And we know even from our little bit of our experiences that when we take on challenges like that God opens new doors in ways that we can never imagine. And then we know that, so that when chances like this come up, then we'll put our hands up and we'll do it, even though we may not have everything figured out.
Everything is such a fight in this life, and they just come and offer help. It's just amazing. I have to be okay with Carter being healed or not healed, and I am okay with that. I just want God's plan to happen. I'm trying to be patient and realize that there may be a bigger plan than just what I want. And I know that one day she's gonna be singing and dancing, and if that's in heaven, then that's okay.
What's up, guys? Hi. What up? Hi, beautiful. Hi. Good to see you. How are you? Guys, it's crazy. It's literally been exact 1 month since the day. I
think it's so awesome to kind of share what was our breakthroughs and what was that day like, the realization that we all crossed the finish line.
For me, knowing that I ran a marathon that was 26.2 miles, I would have quit a long time ago, like if it was just me running this race. But it's like having you guys around me, like it was just super encouraging because like I didn't want to let you guys down.
I've just like had this shift of like, I'm just going full on with you, God. Like if I did 26 miles, I could do anything else, So I'm going for it.
Do you know how like when you're running and then you could see the other people like on the and I was like, if I just
When the invitation of running a marathon from my best friend came, in all sincerity, I wasn't physically ready. And yet, it's a little contagious when you start talking about the previous half marathons that we had done together. So out of that conversation led to the idea, what if for our 40th birthday, we run a full marathon? And I think with the season I was in, where 40 was kind of like a negative at the doctor's office, constantly telling me that, my clock was ticking, it became the motivation. We're in the journey of officially now starting IVF. All my life, I just never envisioned myself without kids. That just wasn't even an option. I've had my seasons when I'm like, God, I'm getting older. Like you've promised, this is something you've placed in my heart. You said I'd be a mom. And God challenged me in my own desire to see a miracle come to pass. What if I ran for somebody else's miracle? Trusting God with my miracle, but then believing for somebody else's miracle to come to pass. And then that's when God began to shape the why behind why I would run. By the end of the weekend that I decided to run, 2 people agreed that same weekend that they would run. And it turned into a ripple effect. All of a sudden, we had a team and everybody started running for something bigger than themselves. As a church, we were in that theme of I am the one. And then it just unwrapped to it being we are the I am the one team. I was good until after a couple of hours. And on mile 17, like, that's when it just kind of really got real, the pain and the unbearness. And at this point, I actually had to stop and stretch, but the pain just kept coming back. After mile 18, it got really quiet. It was just literally myself and my best friend and another person that were the only ones on the trail. And I just picked up and like started running, speaking, yes, I can do this. But as I'm running, I'm going like, oh, I don't know if I can. At this state, all streets were back open. We don't see signs, and eventually we went the wrong way. And I'm like a bit freaking out, like maybe I should take an Uber to the finish. But then Welling texts me and is like, where are you? I will go to you and guide you back. And we finally like meet, and he's like, it's this way. And we go on the main street, and I start seeing the team. They're like, you're almost there, you know? And it's mile 25. And then from a distance, I see the little girl I'm actually running for. When I saw Carter, this beautiful, precious little girl I was running for, that the miracle that I'm believing for her life, it put everything in perspective. This was me giving it my all. Giving my heart and soul to saying, here, Father, I've been obedient to what you've called me to. And just like believing that yet there's still more ahead. And now to believe that the breakthrough is going to come out of that obedience. And it's kind of crazy, but I received the list of injections and appointments that we're about to embark on in this journey of IVF treatment. So I said, okay, God, I'm going to look at this as mile markers. And then, I don't know why, I decided to count how many appointments I have and how many injections I have. And it was a total of 13. 13 is half of a marathon. And I just feel like I kind of lost it crying, because I think that God was saying, you've done a full, you totally can handle a half.